Thank you for tuning in. My name is Shea Frank, and today my topic was going to be about the altar, or the tools for the altar. And first of all, I will say that for your protected shelter, I think it's very important to make yourself a book of enlightenment. The book of enlightenment is, as far as the wiccan pagan beliefs, they call it a book of shadows. I didn't want to call mine a book of shadows. I called it a book of enlightenment. And I think it's very important to make yourself something where you put down in writing what your customs and your ideas are going to be, the concept of your little protected shelter. And so I have a list of items, the contents of the book, and the first thing on the list is the tools for your altar. First of all, you should decide how or where you're going to have your altar. You could have something that you just take out for the time, for the ritual or the Sabbat you want to celebrate, that you then put away again. The idea behind that, I suppose, would be that you are still in the broom closet and you don't want this to be standing out so that people see it. Then other people could have something like a sideboard or something, some unit that you put something on top, like a tablecloth, and you put your altar, or have your altar there the whole time, or maybe a little table in a corner somewhere. So my coffee table is basically my altar, and that is the first thing that you need to think about, how or where you want this to be for a start. And the reason behind mine being on the coffee table was because I've been burning incense sticks now for more than 3 years. I've done videos before about the healing properties of essential oils, and I do my own creams and stuff with essential oils in it. And so more than 3 years now I've been burning incense sticks, and so I have this thing where I put them in. But you don't need to burn incense sticks. You could use the essential oils and put them in like a diffuser thing. And there's also these wee pyramid things that you can light. Same idea as an incense stick, and they smell nice. So that's up to you. But it is one of the things that I think are important for your tools for your altar. So my altar is on the coffee table for the simple reason I've had this standing here. I haven't made big changes in my life. I've had this standing here now for more than 3 years since I've been burning incense sticks. And for the Friday evening wine blessing, I have candles, so it's kind of set up like an altar. So this is my 5 basics, 5 things that I think are important to be on your altar, or the tools for your altar that should be. When the one is the candles, have candles, at least 2 candles for your Friday evening wine blessing, and the incense sticks. Don't have to use incense sticks if you don't want to, that's optional. But maybe like a diffuser with the essential oils, something that has fragrance, and it does actually have healing properties, and I believe that. So the third thing is a wine glass, or they call it a chalice. Not too sure what this Wiccan people need a chalice for, but for me it's the wine blessing, Friday evening wine blessing, which is the next chapter in my Book of Enlightenment. It's another video. What the wine, Friday evening wine blessing is at all. But the chalice or a cup or glass or some kind of goblet, something like this. And I was just using a wine glass all the time now, since more than a year I do this. And it was one of these wiccan videos that spoke about this being something that is not for daily use. You have it especially for this witchy thing, what they do. And so I thought that was a good enough idea. I was just using, as I said, just any old wine glass, every week a different glass or whatever. And I thought there's nothing wrong in having something a bit more sacred or special for these special Friday evening rituals that I do. And then they were talking about not going out and spending lots of money, and you can do this on a small budget. And so I opened my cupboard and I thought, what do I have that's kind of like maybe something I could put aside for this one ritual thing from my altar. And I have this plastic glass, and it was a store was opening and they were giving away free glasses of champagne in this plastic throwaway glass. This is years ago, and I like that. I'll tell you why I like it, because, don't laugh, this is it, because it had this black stand. You get these, you can buy packs of them, but I've never seen with the black base to it, stand to it. So that's what I'm going to use at the moment, at least, because other people have said they've got loads of them. I mean, I'm just starting out as well. I'm a beginner, but I might buy myself something nice sometime down the road. So this is for the Friday evening wine blessing or other rituals by the Wheel of the Year. Have also got the wine and bread blessing. Brings me on to the fact that the Wiccan, I think, call it a cake and ale, but that's the next chapter in my Book of Enlightenment, so that's another video, but I'll just hit on the fact that what I do for a wine and bread blessing Friday evenings is the same idea as the cake and ale, and so that's why a wine glass. The fourth thing that I think is an important tool for the altar is the hexagram. The pagan Wiccan do a pentagram, and that's for me associated with witchcraft and witchy things that I don't want to get into. And so I thought the 6-pointed star is the hexagram, the Star of David, which is the Jewish star, and it's also two triangles intertwined, one so, one the other so, as upside down, which is the symbol of male and female. And so for that reason I will use a hexagram and not a pentagram or a pentacle. And so just the other a few weeks ago now, I started to lay these things out on the table, and in the center of my table with a candle in the middle or something. And I got these quite recently, actually, from someone, which are decorative. It was along with little things to hold incense sticks. It was a gift, and there's 6 of them. So I laid them out on the table in such a way that they were positioned for the hexagram around the candle. So that is how I do the hexagram at the moment. I mean, you could do all kinds of things. You could draw something on a piece of paper. If you're into working with wood or something, you could carve something. I thought done crocheting, so a nice little wee table thing, but I'd have to get the thingy for it. But somebody could do something like that. You can do these things. I think that's important, but it's decorative. It's not anything to do with casting spells. But that brings me nicely to my fifth thing, which I do believe is important, and there's various different reasons for that as well, is the crystals. I happen to have some, a little handful, that was also gifted to me many years ago. I'm sure I've had them for more than 20 years, and they've just been in some kind of dish as a decoration. And I think this is amethyst. I'm pretty sure they're rose quartz, but I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not too sure what this one is. And I just laid them out on the table, just decorative. But I am kind of looking into the crystals because I'm looking into that because for the different Sabbaths, for the 8 Sabbaths, for the Wheel of the Year, there are colours in association to the fest, and for decorative purposes for your altar, which is the next thing about the tools for the altar, that you can decorate every Sabbath of the 8 Sabbaths or fests, and the crystals would be then nice just to decorate your altar, and not for any kind of magic purposes, but there are certain crystals that are associated with the chakras, and the chakras is what I'm trying to get onto, is the point of the crystals, that certain crystals actually have certain healing powers for the various chakras. I go through the chakras in my meditation. One of my concepts for my protected shelter is the chakras, and is the Mayan belief system with their calendars and counting of days. Chakras is one of the concepts, and the Mayan belief system, the Mayans, they also believe in the chakras and the body and so on. So that is, first of all, the tools of the altar, the 5 tools of the altar that I find it's important to have on your altar. I will do in another video the different Sabbaths from the Wheel of the Year, and go into that in more detail. But I'm just starting out myself, so I'm not 100% smart on that. I can just also give you my ideas and my concepts of how I would decorate these altars. I look forward to you tuning in again next time. Bye.